Alrighty, we have an outlet that is covered with paint, and we're going to put in a new one. We're going to bring it up to code. Here in the country I was born in, we use 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps, 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps. Black is live, white is neutral, the berry, the green is the ground. Red and blue are also live colors. However, you may find white live in a 110, 120 volt switch loop, or in a 220, 240 volt circuit where the appliance does not require a neutral. The outlets are polarized here in the country I was born in. You always put your neutral wire on the silver colored screw, which is the wider slot, your bare green wire on this green screw, which is your ground, and your live wire, which is most generally going to be black, you put that on this brass screw, and that is the narrower slot, or it could be red or blue. But most generally for residential, it's going to be red or black, and in commercial, you'll find blue as a live wire on a 120 volt circuit. So I'll show you how to replace an outlet. Okay, so we'll just take the outlet out of the wall here. This is all painted up. You don't want to have paint on your outlets because the paint can get inside the receptacle and damage your contacts. Give you a very poor connection, and it can get warm and hot and possibly start a fire. So you never want to paint over your outlets because those strips of paint build up resistance between the contacts. So we're going to take this off. Oh, okay, so we have a ground in here. I'm going to just get my tester and make sure it's off. Okay, it's off. Let's see if that gives a little extra light. Yeah, it does. So we'll undo our black wire here. This outlet's a little older. It's probably maybe 5 or 6 years old because it has the slotted screws on it rather than the Phillips. And they do have the ground wire bonded to the box the way it should be, with a crimped on tail from our main ground coming in. As you can see, that's all painted up. So we'll just close the screws we're not going to use here. Okay, so we'll start with our ground wire. We'll put it around our green screw here. We'll close our loop the direction our screw turns. I'll pull it forward slightly so that it closes our loop the way we want it, brings our copper under the screw. Now I'm going to strip this loop a little bit longer so we don't get our insulation caught under the terminal. Okay, so I go to the hole we're using, the gauge that matches our wire that we're using. So we'll bring it down here, we'll put our white around the silver colored screw here. Close our loop the direction our screw turns. Then I'll close our loop the direction our screw turns there a little bit more. Make sure it's nice and tight and we have a good connection like that there. Now I'll bring it around. Now I'm going to make sure this ground wire stays down on the bottom here. Just let it lay. I don't even care about it. Don't even bother with it. Okay, I'm going to just take a little more off of this one so we don't get our insulation caught under our screw head. Very tiny bit. You always put your wire around the screw, the direction that your screw turns. And you want to make sure you don't get your insulation caught under the screw head. You can either use Phillips or flathead screwdriver on the receptacles. Make sure it's nice and tight and we have a good solid connection like this here. Okay, so now we'll push our outlet back into the box here. And we'll shorten this screw here that's going in the top because our raceway and our wires are coming through there. So I'll shorten that up a little bit just so that we don't hit our wires. Alrighty, so we got it on there. Now we'll just stick our cover on here. I'll take my light though and just double check, make sure wires aren't pinched anywhere, screws aren't hitting anything, our ground wires down away from everything. I'm going to just push it down a little bit more over here. We'll just stick our cover on here. I enjoy helping this landlord out. He has a very good reputation around town and for taking care of his buildings and maintaining everything and being good to the tenants. So I enjoy helping them, and I make a lot of good YouTube videos. So that is how to replace a defective outlet or one that's all painted over here in the country I was born in. Peace. Thanks for watching.